Okay, folks, this is part 2 of how to do a UCC-1 step-by-step. We left off, we finished up on the Debtor 1 section. Joe Spliffengate's the name, or with the all caps name is what it is. We're using Joe Spliffengate for this video. The address. The address can only be one of two addresses. If you put your street address, you put the wrong address. If you put the hospital address, if you put your home address, you put the wrong address. If you put the P.O. box, you put the wrong address. The only two addresses that it can be is the hospital that you were born at or the Office of Vital Statistics, because those are the two places where the birth certificate was created, where that fiction was created. So those are the only two addresses that all capital name that you just put in the organization section, not individual. It's not an individual, it's an organization. That name you put into the organization section, your all caps name, there's only one of two addresses that it can live at, and that is the Office of Vital Statistics or the hospital where it was born at, because that is the place where it was created. It does not move, it doesn't go on vacation, it doesn't change locations. It stays there perpetually. It never leaves. So the city, we just put the word that city, and we threw New York in there just because, you know, it's a fictional information that we're putting here, so we have to put a state in there. Zip code is obviously not the real zip code. You just get the zip code for the hospital or the Office of Vital Statistics, depending upon which office that you're going to use for the address of your all caps name. All right, type of organization is a trust. It is a trust. Okay, do not put the word trust up top with the name. Don't do that. Okay, there's already a section for that to be put in. That is 1D. It says type of organization. That's where you put it, not with the name. Okay, jurisdiction. Again, this is why we use New York, because New York has this. Most other states do not. Okay, we put ecclesiastical. Yes, I spelled it correctly this time. So again, you can refer back to the last video to kind of go over these details. I'm just briefly going over it now. Organizations ID would be the social security number without the dashes, or your exemption number. Your exemption number, which is the social security number without the dashes. Okay, as we mentioned at the end of the last video, there is no debtor 2. There are individuals who are doing these for people, and they are putting America as the debtor, or the United States as the debtor, or Washington, or some other weird place. There is no debtor 2 regarding this, okay? So please, people, don't allow these people to fool you. Don't allow them to get you jammed up in some nonsense, because they're just filling out stuff and doing things, and they have not done any research regarding it. So there is no debtor 2. Okay, people? There's no debtor 2. There is no debtor 3. So we're going to go past those sections, debtor 2 and debtor 3. There's nothing to put there at all. At all. And if anyone tells you that there is something to put there, tell them to bring their proof. All right? Tell them to bring sound proof that the United States is the debtor. Because here's the thing. And this is what this is the argument that they're going to use, and I'm just going to head it off at the pass now, so you already have your answer as regards to what they're going to try to say. Well, this is the reason why. The United States has the obligations of discharging the debts. We already know about that. We already know about House Joint Resolution 192. We know about that already. But that does not make them a debtor. Because they nominate themselves to take care of your responsibilities, it does not mean that they are now indebted to you. Okay? And if you go back and read House Joint Resolution 192, and you read the history behind it, why it was created, it wasn't created to create a debt upon the United States. It was created in order to protect them from being charged for treason. Okay? For putting the American people up for collateral in order to get the Federal Reserve, aka the IMF, International Monetary Fund, aka the World Bank, aka the Rothschilds family financial institution that provides their intellectual properties, which people tend to call these days money, their intellectual property, and began to provide these intellectual properties to different countries and nations to utilize as a medium of exchange. Okay? When they did that, they put the people up for collateral because the United States was bankrupt. 1928, not 1933. 1933 is when it went public with the announcement of being in bankruptcy. It was already in bankruptcy. The United States was already bankrupt in 1928. They already knew it. Go read the book, Creature from Jekyll Island, and you'll see for yourself. Also read Howard Zinn's book on American history. It was already bankrupt in 1928. 1933 is when they put it on the public record, or they started to announce to the public that the United States was bankrupt. Okay. So there is no debtor 2 or debtor 3. The United States is not that. They're not the debtor. Okay. Next, we go now to the secured party section. Okay. The secured party would be your name, upper lowercase, and the secured party is an individual. So we're going to go Joe, upper lowercase, Spliffingate. I want Spliffingate, but I want it lowercase. So Spliffingate, Joe Spliffingate. All right, individual's name. And if you want, you can put the name into the where it says first name. You can do that. We're just going to put it in individual section for now. But again, it says in the individual's last name, so you would put Spliffingate there, and then first name you would put Joe. Okay, so we're going to go to the mailing address. So the mailing address of the secured party. Let me just say this: anytime you put the house number, the number of the house that you lay down and go to sleep at, whenever you put that number, that address onto any public record, you are taking your stuff out of the private and into the public. Even though having the number on the house on its own will bring it into the public, you're not supposed to put any information where you go and lay your head and go to sleep and conduct affairs with your family. You do not take that location and put that onto a public record. If you're doing that and you're saying that you're in the private and you've done these type of processes and you think that you're in the private, you're absolutely not in the private. You're absolutely not in the private. Okay? You put that private personal information onto the public record, you are making a testimonial statement, declaration that you are operating 100% in the public even when you're at home. Okay? So you do not put your home address onto any public record. What you put in this section is you would put a P.O. box. Okay? Now sometimes they won't allow you to write P.O. box onto here. They may stop you from doing that. So what you would do is you would take P.O. box out of it and you would put the actual street address that the post office is at. Let me get that right. Henry Lane. And of course this is not a real address. Henry Lane, Unit 3. So whatever your box is, whatever your P.O. box is, the number of it will be the unit for this address. So you would do something like that, or it may reject that also, so you may just have to do it just like that. City. I'll put my city. And then the state, I don't know, MA, whatever, it doesn't really matter. This is obviously not a real address I'm putting in here, so and you obviously should not be doing this thing word for word exactly what I'm putting on here. You're supposed to be putting your information in here. All right, for those who it doesn't make sense to at this point, but just again, you're not using this information that I'm putting in there. You're simply going to put your information in there. And I'm saying this, people, for those of you who are aware of this, there are people that will literally and have already in the past done exactly what they see in front of them. They don't make any changes at all. They don't put their information. So this has to be stated so that those individuals will know, don't put what I'm putting on here. You're going to put your information there in place of this. Okay? All right. Postal code 2296. We'll do that. Okay, and that's United States. All right. So again, you could put in the mailing address, you could put the P.O. box. If they reject that, they don't allow you to complete the form. Because of that, then you simply put the street address of the P.O. box, of the post office that your P.O. box is located at. And then you put unit, you put unit and then write whatever the number is of your P.O. box. Okay. Now, that is it for the secured party section. There is no additional secured parties, so that section remains empty. That section will remain empty. I'm going to close out this video on this note, and the next video, part 3, we will be dealing with the collateral box, which is usually the most entertaining part of this whole thing. We'll do the collateral box, and then probably in the 4th video we'll cover the alternative designation section. And with that, I appreciate you people tuning in. It's another video done. Assalamu alaikum to the Muslims, Islam to the Moors, Namaste to the Hindus, Hotep to the Egyptologists, peace be upon you to the Christians, and good morning to those who are just waking up to this knowledge. Good morning. Peace.